Hey, it's Clay at claycharter.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, October 12th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will still be moving around. And then also, the candlesticks you see right here will also be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, NIO, did this one in yesterday's watch list video. And same premise holds true, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, other than the fact that this red line, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the video previously, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about and putting in that red line right there, and check out the power of charts. Right now, that level is still behaving as a very stubborn level, which means there's going to be that many more people watching it. And when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, while it doesn't guarantee anything, it can provide, even if you want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, it can provide some very worthwhile movements. And as I said previously, NIO, very, very, very popular stock. And to have such a popular stock just be getting absolutely beat down. I mean, people are looking for any excuse at all to buy something like this. And sometimes all it takes is a trend line break. So like I said, if you're somebody that likes to play very popular stocks that are beat down, and then, you're not looking for necessarily a reversal, but even a dead cat bounce, because from a trading standpoint, there can still be plenty of opportunity in that, then NIO definitely fits that bill. So yes, beat down, very popular stock, and we'll see if this can get any sort of bounce at all. Next one, FNHC, and nice little pattern here. Yeah, there's been a deeper pullback, but within that pullback, there's still, some general overall nice dynamics going on. So that's a trend line right there where I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a special skill or discovery. I assure you a lot of people have drawn that line. And I say that because going back to the NIO, when a lot of people are watching the same thing, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very nice movement. So while nothing is guaranteed, more than valid to think that if the price can recover back up to that trend line and get the break up through it, that break in and of itself could create quite a nice upside buying amount. So keep an eye on that. And again, I realize that, yes, there is a downtrend that's taken place and is taking place. So I'll get that mapped out here. But the question becomes, actually, let me change that to green to represent the bottom of the channel and more so bullish dynamic, and maybe make this all a little easier to see, make it one color. So yes, there is this downwards channel, but then you have to ask, well, what happened before the downwards channel? And you had this big move up right here. And in doing so, what we actually have here is a bull flag pattern. So if you like penny stocks, if you like bull flags, here you go. Next, LASE, and I like this one a lot because we have, and I'll just go with the term, a nice little self-fulfilling prophecy point right up here at $3.20. So as I've noted, I'm sure a lot of people have taken notice of that level. So not a great discovery, not a special talent. Therefore, if the price does come up there and can get the push up through there, then yeah, valid to think that that could create additional buying pressure. And then along with this, we have a nice uptrending trend line like that. So again, because that's the bullish part here, let me change that to green. And then as far as the pattern is concerned, I'll change this all to one color again. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have our big movement right there. And for you golfers out there, let's make it a little more visual. Put the golf ball down here. This would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like to play bull pennants, if you like to play this range down below the $5 mark, here you go. Next, CCL, another one of these. I'm not going to say it's as popular as NIO, but still a relatively popular stock. And you have some very, very interesting dynamics here that's occurring. And sometimes that's what it's all about. A watch list is about unique situations, interesting situations, and not randomly rushing out and buying something, but watching it and seeing how the price ultimately behaves and see if it behaves in a way that fits your personal strategy and risk tolerance. So as of right now, to give credit where credit's due, there is a nice little upwards bounce here that's been underway. So for the past, we'll call it about day and a half. And, there's certainly been some nice overall upwards movement, especially actually today when you think about that this morning, opening 30 minutes, price all the way down here, but now it's worked its way all the way up here. And as I speak, and like I said, this is why I like to do these when the market's still open for a little bit, you can see that the price is actually starting to approach that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, which is the key level of resistance moving into Wednesday. You can see that several times the price has been up around that purple line, as not, and just hasn't been able to push through it. You go back a couple of days ago, and you can see that also happened right there. And as I speak, like I said, the price is approaching that level. level. So that'll be the big question mark, is can the price break up through that level and create some sort of upwards breakout? If it doesn't, not the end of the world. But then the next thing that everybody will be watching is that trend line there, and asking a very basic question is, okay, well, if the price has failed to break through that purple line and now the price has come back down here, what's going to happen? The bearish people, people looking to short, are going to be saying, well, if that price breaks, I think it's going to create that much more downside, continuation. I understand where they're coming from, but you're also going to have people saying, well, I think if the price comes down here, it could bounce up there. Again, I see where those people are coming from, and that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. You just want to make sure that you're managing that risk. So all in all, though, those would be the main levels that I think stand out the most here on CCL. Next one here, AMC, real quick, and I just say that because really there's not a whole lot to say other than the fact of just lower lows and lower highs, so the downtrend continues. Now, going into today, it was relatively interesting because it looked like, okay, maybe that was some sort of bottom that has finally formed there on Monday, because the price just basically, after giving up its gains, went sideways, but then you can see today that was not any sort of bottom. The price has now drifted downwards. So again, lower lows, lower highs, and as far as the new level of support moving here, not a fancy, nothing complicated, literally just a question of, okay, well, where did the bleeding finally stop today? And that was down there at, let me just make sure, the $6.10 mark. So I take that back. I think I went low. 607, excuse me. So 607 is now going to be that main area of support. And again, nothing complicated other than that's just finally where the price started to go down. So maybe, just maybe, some sort of double bottom trying to form here. But I don't know really how convincing that is. But, I mean, to be fair, it could be. But like I said, there's just so much downwards pressure right now that, I would not put too much, faith into some sort of double bottom. But, to be fair, there is a potential that sits there right now. If there is any sort of bounce, so if this double bottom goes into play and starts to, the price starts to head back up, key area of resistance is going to be about that purple line right there, 50-period moving average, currently valued at 662. But, as of now, the drift downwards continues. Real quickly, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering here very soon this week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen, you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, and why it is so powerful in building consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free training. Next one here, Uber, and I'm not going to say it's a massively popular stock, but it is a well-known tech stock, and I mean a ton of volume today. And to give some credits to, when you think about the fact that at one point the price was all the way down here and then managed to work its way up there. Nice move, but that does lead to the valid question of, okay, but is there any sort of true power behind that movement? And I have no idea, but that's the nice thing about charts is they allow you to answer questions like that and make it very straightforward. And in my mind, it's all about that level right there at $24. Why is $24 important? Well, no price can go straight up, as nice as that would be. So if something is truly strong, again, it's not going to go straight up, but it needs to at least show signs of progress, which brings up the next question. Okay, well, how are you defining a sign of progress? And that's why I love charts, because it allows you to take those phrases, those words, and then make them very visual. So my quote-unquote sign of progress would be $24, because the price comes down here, bounces around, and then heads back up. What would you have at that point? Well, you would have a set of lows right here. You would have lows right there. You envision those as stair steps, and you'd have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. Again, that's what a genuinely strong move is going to do. On the flip side, if the price comes down here and just crashes down through there, what's that doing? Well, that's putting the price right back to where it was, and not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength there. So $24 is going to be a very helpful level in that regard. And then as far as key levels of resistance, quite clear, $26 has been a problem point. You can see that this opening 30 minutes, price got rejected. Big bounce here, but that's right where that big bounce got rejected back down. So keep an eye on 26 as that main area of resistance. Next one here, DKNG, and I put this one very strategically because same exact premise here, so I'm going to go through it much quicker. Give credit where credit's due. Price was all the way down here. Now it's worked its way up here. Good, solid bounce. Is there any sort of genuine power? Well, you now know, where's the sign of progress at, right? Yeah, because a truly strong move is going to show signs of progress, but where's that sign of progress? And in my mind, that sits right down here at 13.25. So again, if the price can hover around there, work its way up, well, then you're going to have those stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And on the flip side, as I pointed out previously, if the stock were to go below there, now all of a sudden you have the price right back to where it was. So 13.25 going to be that key level of support, because we'll call it the sign of progress, quote unquote, area of support. And then as far as levels of resistance, right up here at, let's make sure I got that right, $14.27 going to be the main area of resistance. But yeah, nice bounce. Is there a truly strong bounce? Let's just see if it can show signs of progress. Next one, PLTR. And overall, if you get motion sick, you might get a little sick looking at this one because, I mean, when you stop thinking about the story of the day, big move down, big move all the way back up there. And now you have a relatively big move to the downside. But, and it's a good but, is that at least the price has maintained above that 200 period moving average, which is a very famous level within the world of charts. And why I would say that 797 is a very important level moving forward, because if the price can maintain above there, then going back to the whole discussion on progress and stair steps, staying above that 200 period would give you a stair step. And then when you compare it to the previous stair step, you would still have progress being made in the upwards direction. But you just want to be a little leery, because this was a significant pullback right here, but you also have to give credit where credit's due and say, okay, well, at least the pullback, and not really necessarily a coincidence, has leveled out here right at that 200 period moving average. So that's a big question in my mind. That's an interesting situation that I think is involved in this chart is, okay, pullback, stayed above the 200 period. Can that continue and serve as a sign of progress of more upside movement to come? Let's see how the next couple of days play out. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched a video from yesterday, but the big dynamic here that I want to point out, and I assure you, and I understand, though, that if you think I'm just putting that line in there, I didn't, but I understand the skepticism around the internet. All you got to do is go back, watch the watch list video from yesterday, and you'll see that I put that red line in there. So I'm not patting myself on the back, but I am padding charts and the tool of technical analysis. So definitely get signed up for that free training. Quick plug there. But check out that red line, and I have not moved it at all. Again, if you don't believe me, just go back and watch yesterday's video. But red line there, opening 30 minutes, rejected. Tried again, rejected. Tried again, rejected. The power of charts, the power of trend lines, an absolutely beautiful trend line right there. And then, yeah, the price did come down there and eventually got, pushed down through that green level, which opened up the floodgates, and down it went. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line as it served its purpose. But this trend line here is the one that I'm going to extend out, because this one certainly is going to be very relevant. There's going to be just that many more people watching it. So if there are any sort of bigger bounces to the upside, keep an eye on the trend line. That's what it's all about. What happens if the price gets back up to that area? As far as levels of support are concerned, got to squeeze things down here quite a bit. Yeah, and I realize it's hard to see here, but that just kind of goes to show that it's been a long time since the price has been down this low on Tesla. So next key area of support to keep an eye on, going to be right there at the 215 mark. And then after 215, if that doesn't quite hold up, next key level down there right around the 209 mark. So 215, 209, next key areas of support. If the price does continue on, that makes sense. Look at that. Nice. Bounce right off that level. So if it does get a bounce, then yeah, keep an eye on that trend line, because that trend line has proven to be a very, very stubborn level. Next one, TQQQ. This is an ETF that allow you to make money if you think that the NASDAQ market is going to go up, and it's just at a lot lower price. So, it just gives more people a flexibility to capitalize if the NASDAQ market, specifically QQQ, is going to go up. And we have ourselves now what I would assume is a very, very well-defined self-fulfilling prophecy type point via that trend line right there, which goes back to the whole talking point. I don't think I'm the only person in the world that's drawn that trend line. I bet there's a lot of people that have drawn that trend line, which does make it not guaranteed, but valid to think that if this can get a bounce and get up to that level and push up through it, that break in of itself could very realistically create some good, solid upwards buying pressure. So keep an eye on that. And then also, as far as supports are concerned, I'm just curious about this line here. Is this the beginning of maybe some sort of falling wedge pattern? And falling wedge is actually a bullish pattern, whereas a rising wedge would be a bearish pattern. But again, I admit that this is still early case, but if the price can honor these trend lines, especially that green one a bit more, then you could have some sort of falling wedge taking shape here, which is one of my more favorite patterns to keep an eye on. But now if the price comes down here and just blasts down through that lower part, well, that pattern is no longer in play, and it's not going to take shape because it's been totally destroyed. But in my mind, I think those are the main dynamics here to keep a close eye on for TQQQ. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment down below. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things go a long way in letting me know you enjoy. As long as I know people are enjoying, I'll continue to make. So get signed up for that free training. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment down below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.